Hello, students. Today we're going to talk about the devil. Hello, students. Today we're going to talk about the devil. The devil's name is Gordon Ramsay. A devil is defined as a creature, a being, that does nothing but harm in the world. Now you might look at him, Gordon Ramsay, and say to yourself, well, he seems like a nice guy. He's able to crack some jokes. His family look healthy and happy. They're always seen joking around, and there's always happy music. But look a little bit deeper. What's really going on? When you have a lot of money, you can pay people to film you in whatever light that you want. You can put cameras in the right places and you can insert music and make your life seem like one giant trip to Disneyland. He's achieved this, but it doesn't make him a good person. All of the money that he has made is on the backs of innocent animals who have been murdered because of him, who never wanted to die. Died begging for their lives. Now, people don't think of chickens, pigs, cows and lambs that often because we've been so indoctrinated in our society to think of them as objects. But they're not objects, and they should not be eaten. Science has proven to us that we don't need to eat animals to survive. And given that fact, and given the fact that he is able to work in the kitchen, there's no excuse for him to keep paying for the murder of these animals. Why would he do it? I ask myself that. Why would he keep doing it? Well, there are a few reasons. One is that maybe he's not such a good chef after all. Maybe he really doesn't know how to cook delicious vegetables and fruits and make them into these amazing meals. Maybe he's not such a good chef after all. Or he's a kind of psychopath who really cannot see into the eyes of an animal. Acted. And cats and all animals are able to feel pain. If you try to come close to them, they can be afraid. If you try to take them away from their families, they don't want that. Animals feel love, and they feel fear, and they feel joy, and they don't want to die, and they have a right to their lives. I ate this chicken in the first place, because that's what happens in the industry. But the sentient beings in that Holocaust suffered through. Absolutely. Think about the Holocaust. Think about what the sentient beings in that Holocaust suffered through. Absolute hell. But the Holocaust never ended for the animals because of people like him. What's different between somebody like Hitler and somebody like Gordon Ramsay? What is the difference? Now you're going to say that Hitler was a terrible man because he asked people to do these terrible things. He demanded it. He commanded it. And that they were humans. But what is the difference between humans and chickens? What is the real difference? Is it because it's okay for people like him to really think it's okay? What about if Gordon Ramsay uses his sight and he says he likes to see the animals being sliced to death, murdered, and that becomes his show, the joy of watching animals being murdered? What if that happens? Then will these millions and millions of people also continue to follow along? What is the difference? Taste pleasure in your mouth, eye pleasure, ear pleasure. All these areas are so close. What makes Gordon Ramsay think that it's okay that just because of his taste pleasure, he can tell others to keep hurting animals? Something that you get out of the ground or you take it from a tree. Good point. I'll try to cut down on the animals that I eat. Or, good point, I should try to make more vegan recipes. That's not what he did. Eating animals is wrong, Gordon Ramsay. Hurting animals is wrong, Gordon Ramsay. Share this song, and if you call me a donut, it's fine. So here you see, this is the face of somebody who likes to pay for the rape, the torture, and the murder of animals. Raped because animals in the industry are masturbated, forcefully impregnated. Their babies are taken away. There's kidnapping in the industry. Everything that's horrible. Think back to World War II and what happened there. Here are 21 things that the egg industry doesn't want you to see. It takes approximately 34 hours for a hen to produce an egg. So to keep up with the demand, more than 300 million hens are used by the US egg industry every year. Now remember, we're only looking at the US industry. I'll try to move this over if I can. Their lives are 2 years of misery, starting right when they are born. You know, when a new baby is born, how we try to give them love and the warmth of their mother, and we sing to them, and there's so much bonding going on. Imagine being born in a world where your mother is nowhere near you. Imagine being born in a dark hell, Auschwitz. That's where these animals are born, in a concentration camp. Chicks are born in large incubators such as these. Look at these little innocent animals. Look at these little babies. If you saw one in real life, would it ever occur to you to just take it, put it towards your mouth, take a bite out of him or her? Never. We're not born wanting to hurt animals. We are all born vegan. We can all return. They will never see their mothers. Shortly after birth, the males and females are separated. Imagine that this was you. Imagine you're just an innocent newborn and you're on a conveyor belt and you don't know where your mom is. And it's cold and you're like, what's going on? And some human picks you up and checks to see if you have a penis or not. If you are male, they throw you in a machine that grinds you up and kills you. This is the cycle of violence that Gordon Ramsay thinks it's okay.
We're going to be reviewing the work
This man
of Gordon.
and suggest horrific to animals, to not hurt animals. He absolutely can never eat another animal in his life, or eggs, or milk. He absolutely could do it, and so could millions and millions of the people who follow him. But instead, he uses the power he has, the media influence, to make the world a worse place. If you ever came across a little baby chicken to life in the egg industry, the males are either tossed into trash bags to suffocate, or are ground up alive. It's just because of fate that you are born in the body that you're born in. We must design our planet, our world, in such a way that no matter, like the pigs are gassed to death. Pigs are put in gas chambers. The Holocaust never ended for the animals. And here's what one of the leaders looks like. Gordon Ramsay thinks that this is okay. I don't. How can we do this to baby birds? How can millions of people watch Gordon Ramsay and think it's an uplifting and fun show and keep paying him so much money to promote this? How can we have a society like this? Oh, that he knows. 5 to 11 hens are crammed into wire battery cages. Imagine living your life like that, so tightly confined. your whole life in a prison when you imagine living your whole life in the darkness, not just want to live their lives. The cages are often stacked one on top of the other, which allows the urine and feces to fall down on the birds in the lower cages. Do you think that in the Nazi prison camps that people were stacked on top of each other? Concentration camps. Does this look any different to you? Why do humans continue to pay for this? Why does Gordon Ramsay think that it's okay for us to continue to do this to animals? You couldn't write a horror story worse than this if you tried. Than a Holocaust. After about 2 years, those who have survived are sent to slaughter. At the slaughterhouse, laying hens meet the same bloody end as that of chickens raised for their meat. These are just chickens that are laying eggs. The chickens that are bred for meat don't live that long. They only live about 7 weeks. These are the chickens who lay the eggs. They're a different kind. They're shackled and hung upside down. They take them and they slam their legs into this machine and hang them upside down. after a life of confinement. Sometimes they're electrocuted. Their throats are cut. They're often scalded to death if they didn't die before that. They just put them in boiling hot water. Who deserves a much better life than this. Help chickens everywhere by refusing to eat eggs. If you think more people need to see where their eggs come from, share this page on Facebook. So I'm asking you, please share this information. And when you grow up, do not be like Gordon Ramsay. We must stop people like this. We must world. We can do it. Don't be like Gordon Ramsay. Be better. And be vegan. World.